Hello, folks. A very good morning, good afternoon, as well as good evening to whomever you've been watching at different time period. I welcome you all to this another session regarding Chandrayaan 1, 2, 3, and more to go. Okay, so before going further inside the video, we'll be discussing about what actually it is. Here is the picture. Okay, from here is the picture of 1, 2, and 3. How actually the success has been achieved, not in 2 but in 3. So it says right failure. The number of failure we usually have, the number of success is going to happen. Okay, so this is all about today's video session about Chandrayaan, and we need to apprise the country of India where the success rate is very high. We cannot say like that, but attempt to success is very high. That's also we can say. So before going to discuss, please do a subscription, folks. Please, I just recommend you to do a subscription and get the latest update regarding any kind of latest news or success stories of any country. Okay, so in this we'll be discussing about Chandrayaan 1 and 2, where there is a major difference between these two missions. Where India's first missions to moon, it is all about Chandrayaan 1. So India's first deep space mission aims to devise the three-dimensional Atlanta. Okay, so which basically involves orbiting the moon of involves orbiting around the moon, and which has 380 approx cost. Okay, 380 crores approx cost. And it is launched vehicle is PSLV C11. Okay, PSLV CII, and operational of 312 days. And okay, so then after, which has a net weight of 1380 kgs, and payloads or study devices are being from India, US, UK, Germany, Sweden, Bulgaria. And the measure is to conduct, or the we can say the testing, or we can say what is the field of doing this, is to conduct the scientific experiment using instrument on the space craft. And coming to Chandrayaan 2, where the lander has been failed, okay, or the Vikram, we can say we'll be discussing everything in detail, but just a glance that I have been formulating here or displaying here, that it basically follows of the Chandrayaan 1. So ISRO's first interplanetary mission to land rover on any celestial body, land rover. Okay, so which basically involves an orbiter, and lander and a rover. So it basically has 300 approx estimation of 960 crores. And it has GSLV MK double triple one, has an approx days of 365 days, and has a kilo weight of 3290 kg. And 14 countries have been involved, including 13 Indian and one from NASA. Okay, steady devices or payloads, we can say. The test new technologies and conduct experiment on the moon, it is the main objective of this. Where India is the fourth country to soft land rover on the surface of the moon after Russia, US, and China. Okay, so discussing about Chandrayaan 1. So Chandrayaan 1 was the India's first lunar probe mission, which basically been launched by the ISRO community, and in the date of October 22, 2008, from the Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota, India. So the main objective or the primary mission of this is to study moon surface, map its mineral composition, and search for water ice in the polar region. So what are the key highlights of mission 1 is that the orbital insertion. Okay, so the orbital insertion basically been successful, entering the lunar orbit November 8, 2008, after performing a series of orbit rising Mercury. So then after moon impact probes MIP, which has a November 14 to the 2008 small impact of probe called MIP, was released from Chandrayaan 1 and impact the surface or lunar surface, which was equipped with a scientific instrument to study the moon's exosphere. Okay, so then after moon's impact on that, one of the most significant discovery of the moons or of the mission was that the identification of water molecules on the moon surface, particularly in the polar region. Okay, so the moon's poles have been, or we can say the moon's poles have regions that are permanently in shadow, and it is was believed that that the ice was, or you can say that the water ice should exist in this cold area. Mineral mapping, discussing about mineral mapping, the mission carried the moon impact probes MIP and the various scientific instruments including the moon's impact probe, okay, spectrometer, and the moon's impact probes, radar alnimeter, okay, MIPR, to analyze the mineral composition of the lunar surface. So coming about the moon's impact, we can have the instruments to measure the altitude and relative speed. Then after X-ray spectrometer, which carries the fluorescence spectro to analyze the distribution of key elements. Okay, so Chandrayaan 1 was lost, but not in vain. Okay, so Chandrayaan 1 was lost, but not in vain. The mission was initially planned to last 2 years, but communication with Chandrayaan 1 was lost in the August 2009 itself. Despite the communication lost, ISRO declared the mission a success due to the data and insight gathered during this operation period. Okay, so then after an inspiration for future mission, Chandrayaan 1, which is laid the foundation for the subsequent lunar mission by Indian and other countries, and its finding about water ice on the moons were particularly important for future plans for utilizing lunar resources for space exploration. So following up the mission, ISRO launched the Chandrayaan 2 in 2019, which concluded, or which basically includes a orbiter, lander, and a rover. And the orbiter of Chandrayaan 2 continues to provide valuable data about the moon. The Chandrayaan was significantly milestone for ISRO and the space program, demonstrating the India's capability in space exploration and also the scientific research beyond the Earth's boundary. Coming to discuss about Chandrayaan 2 is an Indian lunar exploration mission developed and launched in the Indian Space Research Organization (ISRO) in the second lunar mission by India. So, however, we can say allowing successful Chandrayaan 1 mission in 2008. Its main composition, terrain, and mineralogy is more in details. So which basically has three components, which I have say: lander, rover, and Prag rover. Okay, orbiter, Vikram lander, and Pragyan loader or rover. Okay, we can say lander and rover. So rover and lander is very important, crucial. So the orbiter was designed to orbit the moon and carry out remote sense observation from above. It was equipped with a suite of scientific instrument to study the moon surface. Then, after coming to Vikram lander, the lander was intended to make a soft landing on the lunar surface near the South Pole. It carried the Prayag rover and was equipped with the instrument to study the surface and conduct experiments. The rover was housed within the Vikram lander and was designed to move across the lunar surface, conducting experiment analyzing the terrain of the soil. So the mission was launched in July 2022. Okay, July 22, 2019, using the GSLV MK 111 MI rocket. The launch was even went smoothly, and the orbiter was successfully placed in the lunar orbit. However, during the landing attempts on the September 6, 2019, the Vikram lander lost the communication from ISRO ground control just moments before its landing. Unfortunately, the lander crashed on the lunar surface, resulting in what? Resulting in the failure of the mission. Okay, even the mission not fully achieved its intended object was surface exploration. Despite the setback with the lander, the Chandrayaan 2 orbiter has continued to function and provide valuable scientific data. It has made significant contribution for the understanding of the moon surface and exploration. We can say the orbiter success. Okay, including the discovery of water ice in the polar region. Chandrayaan 2 showcased India's advancement in the space and the commitment to lunar exploration. The mission was demonstrated ISRO capability to develop the lunar complex and interplanetary development. Okay, so this is how what actually the folks. I will not be taking much of your time, so let me end the video itself for you. Thank you. Thanks a lot.